The days you waste your energy are over. Yesterday, Raphael was playing in the background this podcast with
Sophie Rain.
Sophie Rain. She makes $100 million in OF, which is a platform where people are undressing themselves a lot. I was like, yeah, okay, she's looking very smart, very nice. I wish it to her, whatever she makes. I was curious because I never know these people. I don't look into these people. I'm a bit unicorn in this area. So I was looking at it, and all of her Instagram posts are shaking her booty and having the certain parts uncovered and half naked or in swimsuits and so on. And then I realized when we talked to Raphael about men and how men are perceiving reality, men are very visual people. Men are visual for some reason because the nature made them this way. And now I feel, especially men, but also as women, because we compare ourselves, we are being drained, especially men's creative energy from the first center, which is the core center of all creation, because that's where we create babies. That's the energy to create for us, for our life, and that's exhausted and that's drained from us, and we are investing into these OF girls, which are constantly stimulating our men's brains, our brains, because we compare to themselves, then we know our breasts are not big enough or small enough or whatever enough, and our lips and hair and eyelashes and nails are not long enough or whatever. We are constantly stimulated by this, and the worst thing which is happening now is for men, because they are very visual, and everywhere you go there is a naked woman, and it is contacting their primal instincts which have to be very strong to procreate in this society. And no matter how spiritual you are, you just walk by it, your brain notices it.
I think it also works very much on women, because if you look at the advertisements online, it's very often like the first few seconds is some young attractive woman that is being shown, preferably in a bikini only, and then comes the product or the explanation of the product. Or there are some attractive women explaining a product which has nothing to do with them. They understand nothing about that business or about that product. They're just hired to present it because the marketers know that this is what works. And it's always going to trigger both men and women. Women probably feel more like that they compare. Men has more like the primal activation, like, oh, okay, an attractive woman. And it captures the attention, which is the game which we are in, capturing people's attention. And that has been this way in the past, but there were only newspapers and magazines and maybe TV commercials. But now it's social media and everybody has a phone. People are looking what works in the algorithm. They realize, aha, okay, if I show this body part and that body part, it's going to work really well. So they become a whole influencer that just shows their body parts. And that's enough to make millions. That's enough to make $100 million. If you think about it, it's absolutely insane that this is possible. And I don't know who would be willing to pay for this just to see some photos or some videos, but obviously there's a huge market for it. And as Petra said, it absolutely takes our creative energy, which we need for building our business, building our family, building projects in our community. We need this energy.
Healing our body. Healing our body, yeah.
It's coming from the first center. But if we are constantly just bombarded with naked women and attractive people, and you know what's funny, we were talking about it, that now people just put on makeup and nice clothes to make a photo or to take a photo and record a video, and then they go back into baggy pants, remove the makeup, so on. And that's the time we're living in. We're just doing it for show. It's not even like, hey, I'm showing you authentically what I'm experiencing in my life. It's just, okay, how can I look the most attractive? How can I attract the most people and get the most attention and keep people watching my content as long as possible? And unfortunately, that is working extremely well with the first energy center activation.
I was actually absolutely fine with women like exposing their bodies. I thought, that's their choice, whatever. But now, when I see it from an energy perspective, it's absolutely wrong. We have to be aware of this because we have to know this wants my life force. This wants my first energy life force, which when we do Dr. Joe's meditations, we are doing this specific breath, which is drawing all the energy from our first center into our pineal gland and above our body and expands our energy field. And if you are not having like energy down there, or if you have stuck energy, like for example guilt, when you are a woman and you are comparing yourself constantly with other women who are exercising and you don't do anything, who are on a great diet and you don't eat right, and when they are having a lot of plastic surgeries and you are still really behind, then you feel guilty, and the guilt sits right in your first center, maybe second center, maybe third center, which is like centers for our primal instincts, our animalistic self, survival. And that's where we have to like draw this energy up around above us, and it's gonna like create this torus field, this energy field, which is creating the, like, you can then send signals to the universe and you can receive from universe which you are creating, you know, and what you are creating. And this way, when you are constantly, even unconsciously, donating your energy to other people, like you just walk to the store and there are the naked women and there is exposure of these people, even for men or women, you are constantly subconsciously donating them energy.
It triggers the brain, it releases dopamine, and you visualize it. It's so obvious. Like either we draw this energy up from the bottom of our spine and we are using it as a creative energy to really create or build something in our life, or we just release it directly from the first center. It's out, and it's immediately out of your field, out of your body. It's away, it's gone. And it's such a strong primal energy, and
That
if we don't find a way how we can move it higher and not just release it and
at least,
donate it away.
Sorry, I am too passionate. At least into our heart, we can try to draw that energy into our heart and understand that this is the game now, and we are not going to be slaves and victims to this. And once you realize that, it will be empowering you, and you will be more aware of where you want to put your focus on. And you have to remind yourself, I actually deleted my Instagram account 3 weeks ago because I was anyways innocently watching just ladies which are just doing random things like normal life living, but I was still subconsciously feeling I'm having there some emotions hidden, you know, which I didn't want to still stir in me. And when I don't do that now, I have this inspiration which I have to share with you, right? Because it's extremely important for you. And if you realize this, you are going to be very much free in this society. And especially men who is willing to donate, you know, to some other woman money, just
hard-earned money. Just to see a few photos or videos, and you can't tell me that they're not aware that the woman has no idea who you are, and that she is now having sort of a relationship with you just because you're one of another million who are giving her money. You can't tell me that any man truly thinks this way, but it's probably something primal, something the mind sort of doesn't get. Maybe like when we talk to AI and we feel like we have a friend, even though we know it's just a machine. It's probably very similar, but the only way how we can change that is by stop looking at this content. That might mean for somebody to delete Instagram, or for somebody else it might mean to press the 3 dots and say, don't show me content like this, I'm not interested. Because as long as we're constantly exposed to it, even though we say, oh, okay, no, I'll scroll away, it still triggers the brain every time you see it. And it works for a reason. The algorithm is pushing this stuff for a reason, not because it wants us to watch it more, because it knows that's what people watch. So it is really in our hands. I didn't delete Instagram. I'm not spending much time there anyways. I deleted the app X, the Twitter app on my phone, because I was
Donating energy there.
donating energy there, and there it was a lot about the politics and conflicts and these things. I was constantly giving my energy away in that sense.
Yeah.
And I also had to just stop it, and then you see all of a sudden what you're able to do, and I have more capacity to focus on the business and on other projects and on our life than just, it's a machine to get attention.
And these apps,
It's a machine to suck life force out of
yeah,
you.
these apps cannot exist without you, without your life energy, and without you directing it directly there. It's because you just decide you have 24 hours like everybody else. You have your own life battery, and you are deciding where you are going to donate your precious energy. Okay? And you are going to, like, imagine you just turn on the Instagram and your life energy, your 2 hours of your precious life is gone. In 2 hours, I was just like on my Instagram like an hour or two, and person thinks like, it's nothing, you know. But if you count 10 days...
I just watched a 10-second video.
Yeah, if you count 10 days, what could I do? I could read like few books, or I could clean my closet, or you know what you can do anything. It's your life. You can just stare at the nature, or you can just go for a walk. I don't want to put it down, you know. Sometimes it's good to have social media, but it's created to suck our life force and charge their accounts, their platforms. Can you imagine if you would not, if everybody now would just not go to Facebook or Instagram, if everybody would just stop watching it? Do you think that those people who are running there in perfect underwear, they would still be interested in doing it? You know, it's just crazy. It's for us, like when you realize this, that it's your life force, your pressures, and they are learning us, this society. I don't want to use the word they, because I don't know if it is even they, or if it is just dark energy or some kind of energy. I don't want to just judge it, but it's just making us programmed that it's okay to donate our energy there, because it's okay to have relief. And I was thinking, okay, some person will not live in a week in this planet anymore, and you have like 1 week to live, and they love social media, and they will be there for 8 hours a day, or 6 hours a day, or even 4 hours a day, and they will just scroll and scroll, and then one day they will be scrolling and they will not be here anymore. What kind of life is that? Like, what kind of life is that you look into your phone and donate into this little tiny box all your life force? Basically, you are not even aware of your body, that you have your body, you know. I started to be a little passionate. I have to calm down a little. But do you get us? Do you get it? That you can very much release a lot of energy for creating your own life. And I know it's hard. It's really cool to escape to social media, or to escape somewhere to do something which is not making sense, because it's hard to really face the truth and say, oh, what do I want? What do I actually want? Somebody doesn't even know what they want. But it is good to just want to spend more time with you, because you are amazing soul. And once you will realize it, and once you will be happy to be with you, when you have like 30 minutes with yourself, then it's the gift. This is why you are here. You want to smell, you want to feel drops on your raindrops on your face, and you have to experience this. This is what you're gonna take with you, you know, because other dimensions, they don't have that. I know it sounds maybe a little spiritual, but why not? Right?
And I think we can't blame the creators, the content creators who are creating these kind of videos and photos, because that's just what the primal brain wants. That's what the primal brain watches, and we also can't blame the algorithm, We can only reteach the algorithm for ourselves. It's really now our responsibility to do it. In the past, it was definitely a lot easier. You just don't buy the Playboy magazines. Now you just really, you have it in your hand, and it's your responsibility to just say, maybe I'll delete this app, or maybe I'll stop following that person, and I don't want to engage in this anymore. And if you're not exposed to it, you will not have these thoughts. As soon as you will be exposed to it, it just starts running.
But if you notice, then we are supposed to move our consciousness a little bit higher than our first three centers. It would be great if we lived from the heart.
It's basically putting us even more into our survival centers.
And or if we would live from connection to the cosmos, if we had our pineal gland activated, it would be amazing. But not a lot of that is conscious. And if we are going to still have activated and overburdened our first energy center, it means that there is our energy, there is our life force, there is our drive and passion. It's normal then that we have no passion for anything else. Any young boys then are not even knowing that they are men or they are growing to be a man. They polish their nails and they do their hair, and now they are doing these pretty exercises, or so they care about their looks more than about whatever else. And it's just because they are living from that world. They are meeting the P word, like, you know, with the adult movies, and when they are very, very young, and then they think the world works this way, you know. My nephews also, my little nephew was on some camp, he was extreme unicorn, and he came back, his eyes were like this big, and he was like, my friend showed me this, you know, these videos, and I had to explain to him, or we all had to communicate with him, that this is just in a movie. It's something like a video game. It's not real, and you know, you have to really understand that these children are now very much programmed from a very young age for this, and how is their outlook, and what do they see in their future? They see that they will donate their whole life into this system. And that's not okay. I feel that it's really good to be reminded of this all the time, because some people are complaining, why can't I heal? Why can't I heal my body? But then you go to Facebook, Instagram, and you listen what you should eat, how you should sleep, how you should exercise, and what not to eat. And then other person says, eat this without that and with that, and combinations, and then there's only chaos in your head. And that's what is great, to manipulate you, put you into feeling guilty. And when you feel guilty, you feel stuck. And when you are stuck in your first center, you can't create. People are infertile because they are having so much guilt there. They are donating all their life force to somewhere else, so they cannot create another life in them, within them, you know, around them. We don't want to live like this, right? We want to be heroes, and we want to be those who are holding our life in our hands. Thank you for sharing your precious time with us. We hope you feel more charged, because that's what we want to do. We want to spread and charge you more with positive energy, and with this feeling that you can influence a lot.
That's actually what content should be doing. You should feel charged from it, not drained.
Yeah, yeah. Not drained, not trained. Yeah.
If you would like to share some more time with us, we also have this video here for you.